Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. This is a breaking news video. How's it all going, guys? This is me in studio, as you can see, with the mobile phone a little off. I was actually just editing some of these videos. This is totally going to be a short video, but I was literally just seconds ago editing a video and all my TV comes up, breaking news, breaking news. Yeah, we have some breaking news here today, and this news is Cam Newton has been cut by the New England Patriots. Yep, Cam Newton is done. So let's get into breaking news. This is a breaking news video, so guys, enjoy it here. A little bit offset here. No, this week is only supposed to be NASCAR content, but, you know, I have to talk about this. So the Patriots have officially cut Cam Newton. Cam is done in New England. We've talked about it here in the show a couple of times, where Cam Newton maybe isn't producing the way we think Cam Newton should be producing, or maybe he's not doing what we think Cam should do. And it's such an interesting point, and it's such an interesting thing to find out here. The Patriots are going with Mac Jones, who they picked up in the draft. And after last season, we saw Cam Newton not do so well. Cam Newton was not very much into it, very little experience in the game, and just not doing good. He was literally just not doing well. That was just one of the things that has happened. And now we're in a situation where Cam is done in New England. His journey as a New England Patriot is over. There is no more Cam Newton in New England. And this comes as a shock, because Bill Belichick has said multiple times that Cam Newton is my starter. After Mac Jones was drafted, he said, Cam Newton is my starter. Just a couple weeks ago, he said, Cam Newton is my starter. Then when Cam Newton had a COVID misunderstanding, and I put that in quotations for a reason, we're going to get to that, and maybe this was a factor into Cam Newton being cut, but that COVID misunderstanding, they asked him again, and you know what he said again? Oh, no, you guys read my statement. You guys read my statement. He would not comment on who's a starter and who's not. And even as much as yesterday, some of his comments said, well, we're going to go with who's the best. He never directly came out and said, Cam Newton is my starter. Well, he basically, yeah, he came out and directly said it, but he never really came out in the last few weeks to say who is his starter and who is going to start the season. And now all of a sudden we know who his starter is. The starter is officially, it's plain and simple. It's Mac Jones. It's not been official yet, but it's Mac Jones. His backup, you know, probably going to be Brian Hoyer. He's made to be a backup, and Stidham will be the third backup ever. He just had surgery, so he's going to be out of it for a little while. But I mean, this is big. You know, Cam Newton is done in the NFL, and just in a couple minutes, I'm going to talk about what his future entails with the National Football League, if he even has a future there. But let's talk about what probably led up to this. First question is, did this whole COVID-19 thing have to do with it? Yeah, guys, I think it did. We found out that Cam Newton is not a vaccinated player. Cam Newton is unvaccinated, and he does not have the COVID-19 vaccine. And the NFL came out just a few weeks ago and said that you got to be vaccinated, or your team might have to forfeit the game. We covered that here. We thought, well, maybe they were going a little overboard with that decision, but nevertheless, they need to get players vaccinated. It is in the best detail of the National Football League. It's in the best for everyone. Just get the vaccine and move on with our lives, right? Everyone's just got to get it. And Cam Newton, as well as Carson Wentz and others, are not vaccinated. Cam Newton is not vaccinated, and he was out for 5 days. He missed 5 days of training camp and a day of joint practices with the New York Giants. And you know who didn't? Mac Jones. Mac Jones got all of the first rounds, the first team reps. He got every rep he needed with the first teamers. And you know what? That, I think, led ultimately to the decision that Mac Jones was able to work with the first team. He was able to work with the starters, and that's what turned it around for Bill Belichick. You know, Josh McDaniels has been pro Mac Jones. We talked about it on the National Sports Podcast. He's been Mac Jones, Mac Jones, Mac Jones, and, you know, it hasn't been any more, it just hasn't been. He's been pro Mac Jones. That's what he has been, and he continues to do that as we speak. And he won the battle, I think, over Bill. Bill Belichick realized that, you know what, Mac Jones, Cam Newton, it is what it is. You know, it does stink to see a player get cut because of an issue with COVID-19. I think that it's not been official that is the reason at all. He's cut for multiple reasons. One of the reasons I think Cam Newton was honestly cut is because he's a terrible player. right now, he's not always been a terrible player, but every time someone tells me, well, he is a former MVP. Well, he was a former MVP in 2015. He's no longer a former MVP. He is a former MVP, definitely, but right now he's not playing like a former MVP. He's not playing well at all. He's playing more like a backup quarterback, honestly, and I think that's what he's going to end up doing with the rest of his career here. But I just, I didn't suspect them to cut him. I expected eventually he would become the second in line, but I think they felt that Mac Jones performed better when Cam Newton was out, when he was out on that COVID misunderstanding. I think they thought that Mac Jones did better and competed better when Cam wasn't there. And so when Cam wasn't there, they think that Cam's not there, we get the best out of Mac Jones. The pressure is not on him. So they got rid of Cam Newton. Cam Newton is no more. And that is just basically because, they think that I think they would have kept him. I personally thought they would have kept him as at least a backup, but they said, nope, Mac Jones is the guy. He is our guy. We got to keep him, and we don't need you anymore, Cam. And Brian Hoyer is the backup. He's made to be a backup quarterback. So that just makes sense to me. Have Brian Hoyer as your backup totally, because that just makes sense. It is what it is. If you're Cam Newton, it's tough luck, really, honestly. And, I'm not going to say it enough. I think part of this decision was he's not vaccinated. And if I'm Cam Newton, I think what he has to do is get the COVID-19 vaccine. I think Cam Newton has to go out and get the COVID-19. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I think that's what has to happen. It's kind of going to need to happen quickly. So, Cam Newton, if he wants another job, I think he's got to go to his local CVS, his local Walgreens, and go get the vaccine. Because that's what's going to happen. That's how it's going to need to go. And that's just that needs to happen for him to get a job. I think, sadly, for him, he is cut because he didn't get vaccinated. That's why one of the reasons he's cut is because he did not get vaccinated. Another reason he's cut is he didn't perform. So, you know what he needs to do? If he wants another job in the NFL, he's got to go get that COVID vaccine, and he's got to go pick up his game as well. Where do I think he goes? Now, there's rumors floating now. The Denver Broncos, maybe he heads over there to maybe be a backup to Bridgewater. Maybe he backs up Dak Prescott. Personally, I don't think he has really... His number one goal, I think, for him is to go out into the NFL, try to find another job. But honestly, I don't think he will find a job with just a few days left, maybe as a backup. So if he's going to find another job in the NFL, I think it's going to be as a backup quarterback. If not, I think maybe television will be it for him. Honestly, I heard that he might go to broadcasting. I don't see him being a broadcaster, but I guess it's all up in the air. He does have a personality that many fans like, so maybe he could fit in as a broadcaster. I just don't know. I think for him, his main future is going to be focusing on the future, and that's what he's going to be focusing on, is the future. So until then, we'll talk about that. NASCAR content tomorrow, as well as 7 o'clock tomorrow night. You guys got to be tuning in because, shockingly enough, the Tom Brady documentary comes out tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Central. And who knows? I don't know what it is for. It's like probably like 4 o'clock Pacific, maybe 5 o'clock Pacific. 7, 6, 5. Yeah, 4 o'clock Pacific. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.